In this video, I wanted to go over how to calculate critical z-values. The first thing you need to know is what type of test you're dealing with. If it's a left tail test, the critical z-value is negative z sub alpha. If it's a right tail test, it's z sub alpha. And if it's a two-tail test, there's two critical values, negative z sub alpha over 2 and z sub alpha over 2. So let's look at this problem. So the problem says find the critical z-value. You're given that alpha is equal to positive 0.06. Alpha is always positive for a right tail test. All right, so we're going to take note that it is a right tail test. Alpha is equal to 0.06. So the critical z value is z sub alpha. So in this case, z sub 0.06. So this notation, we've learned in prior lessons that given a z distribution or a standard normal distribution, it is the z distribution, or I'm sorry, the z score that separates an area of 0.06 to the right. And in order to find this value, anytime we're looking for a value that's down here, using the TI-84 or 83, we're going to use the function inverse norm. All right, so inverse norm takes three inputs. The first input is the area to the left. So in this case, this is the area to the right. The area to the left would be 1 minus 0.06, which is 0.94. And then we're also going to need the mean and the standard deviation. So for a standard normal distribution, the mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. So we have 0, 1. All right, so we are going to load our calculator, and we're going to go to second vars, go to inverse norm, which is the third function. Area to the left is 0.94, 0 and 1 is the mean and the standard deviation. Paste. So the inverse norm rounded to two decimal place, the critical z value rounded to two decimal place would be 1.55. All right, so this is for a right tail test. For a for a left tail test, the only difference here would be, so say for example, if this was a left tail test instead of a right tail, then the critical value would be negative z sub alpha, or in this case, alpha is 0.06. For a two-tail test, you're going to divide alpha into two tails. All right, divide it into halves. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email.